In your opinion, what is the hardest part of helping and running the Diocese of Biloxi?
Well, it's a challenge and a half because we have 56,000 people and 43 parishes and 8 missions, 15 schools. So we're pretty big. So part of it is staffing and personnel, because in the end everybody works for me. So it's a challenge to make sure everybody's staffed properly, all the parishes and schools and the like. So that would be the thing I would think would be the most challenging. Of course, one of the joyful things is being able to come see you and celebrate with all of your classmates. So it's been a joy to be with y'all today.
What's your favorite Mass to celebrate at?
Well, we just did one of them today at Sacred Heart School in Hattiesburg. It's wonderful to be with you. So anytime I get to celebrate Mass, it's really a very special moment. And then when I get to celebrate Mass with our youth, it's even more special. So it's a joy to be with you. Obviously, there's some special places to celebrate Mass. So when I celebrated Mass at St. Peter's Tomb, at St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, that was really special, especially celebrating with the Holy Father, Pope Francis. That was even more special. So those are just a few special moments, but in the end, it's celebrating Mass wherever I am. And today, being with y'all, yay, wow, wonderful.
What made you choose the path of God, being a bishop and a priest?
So part of it was the influence of my family. Mama taught me how to pray, and my dad really taught me the Christian values, especially in business, and then serving Mass and being around the priest and being around the sisters. I just really felt drawn to their work, their life, and their ministry. And so I entered actually when I was right about your age too. I was 14, and so it kept getting stronger during high school, and then when I went into college, it kept getting stronger, and then I went into graduate school, and eventually really heard the call to say yes to being a priest of the church. And so I was a priest for the Diocese of Corpus Christi, Texas for 39 years, and then got a phone call from Pope Francis and his representative asking me to be the 4th bishop of the Diocese of Biloxi. And of course I ended up saying yes, and so that was 4 years ago. Wow, it's hard to believe, it's really blown by, but it's been a joy to be with you. So yeah, very good. Good girl.
Was it a tough decision to choose being bishop, knowing all the work that it involved?
Well, I have to admit I had a pretty good discussion with the representative of the Holy Father who called me. And he called me on my cell phone, so that tells you something. And because at the time I was 64 years old, and I said, there's been a lot of water under the bridge, and I've had a lot of different assignments, and does the Holy Father know about all that? And he said, yes, the Holy Father knows all that, and he wants you to be the 4th bishop of the Diocese of Biloxi. So I said yes. How could I say no to the Holy Father? And it's been a joy, to be your bishop. Really has. And a lot of really good priests, a lot of really good sisters and deacons, and then our lay people have been just wonderful in terms of their acceptance and willingness to walk, with me, especially as I share the gospel with them and the invitation that Jesus is giving us as a diocese. So it's been a joy to be with you. And then celebrating Mass with y'all this morning was a great treat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, super, thank you.
What was the most challenging thing you've had to do as bishop?
Well, there's been a couple of things. There's a lot of things that we have to deal with in the modern world, and then some of those things are a real challenge because there's not a clear right or wrong sometimes, and there's not a clear way to go on some things. And so it's those things that tend to be really challenging. Having said that, I really got some good people around me, a good staff around me who are able to advise me on things when they come up. One of the things, though, I shared with one of the bishops that had recommended me to be a bishop. He was my bishop in Corpus Christi, Bishop Mulvey. I was kidding him when I was saying, you didn't tell me that you actually start the job on your knees praying, because that's where the job puts you, instantly, on your knees praying. Because so many things are really to be put in God's hands, and let God lead us, guide us, shape us, form us as we need to be. So, great question.
Thank you. And then, what was your biggest mishap in Mass as a bishop?
Well, I can tell you some humorous moments. One of my first assignments was with Mexico in our mission in Arteaga and Saltillo. So we had weather like we're having right now there, and it's in the mountains. And so the cruets, which hold the water and the wine, it was so cold, they were frozen. So we actually didn't have water and wine until the altar servers were doing this, in their hands, trying to warm them up, and they put them in their coats and everything. And finally, it thawed out enough for us to be able to have enough water and wine to be able to celebrate the Mass. So that was a really, challenging moment. And then there's been, of course, some Masses I've had with the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts outside that have been challenging to celebrate because of just the weather and the circumstances. But it's been a joy to be with them and to celebrate Mass, with them. We shall overcome becomes our kind of mantra for the Mass, because we're able to celebrate it together even when the circumstances are challenging. So, like today, we were all wearing masks. We still were able to celebrate, and that's a joy. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Bishop Kihneman.
Good morning, and tell me your name.
Ken.
Ken, good to see you again. You're one of
Good
my
to see you too.
servers, so I appreciate you every time I come and visit. So, what do you got today?
Along the lines of being a missionary, what was your best missionary experience, or your favorite?
Well, part of being a missionary is we are really a missionary diocese here. And so being the bishop of a missionary diocese has been a treat. But I also got a chance to go back to Mexico after I was ordained a bishop with Bishop Copaz. He's the bishop in Jackson. And we got a chance to celebrate confirmations, also dedicate some churches. And these were places I had been as a priest over 40 years ago. So it was wonderful to be back with the people and to share the Eucharist with them, to share confirmation with them, and to also dedicate some churches with them. So that's the most recent. That's been just a joy, to be with the folks that I was in missionary land, which is in Mexico, in Arteaga and Saltillo. Having said that, here in our diocese, being able to celebrate Mass with y'all this morning was a treat, especially since today is my birthday. So it was a joy to be with you today. So thank you for the question.
Also, how would a normal person become a pope?
So a normal person is a pope. Pope Francis is a normal person. But there is a process that we have as a church. And right now, usually, the cardinals of the church, who are the advisors of the Holy Father, are the ones that choose who the Pope will be. They usually choose from their own number and invite, a cardinal. However, it's possible for really almost anyone in the world to be called to be Pope. You have to live a holy life. It has to be a life of distinction, has to be a life in service to people, has to be recognized by the cardinals of the church. And generally now it's a priest, but the Lord really calls us to experience His love through our leader, whoever the leader is going to be. And right now it's Pope Francis. And I've had the joy of being able to meet him now twice and have 2 private conversations with him that have been pretty lengthy. And he's just a really down-to-earth, good man of prayer who loves the church deeply. And that's really who the Pope is for us. So great question. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Bishop Kihneman, and I hope you have the best birthday ever.
Amen. I appreciate that. Thank you, Ken.